watching News at Prime. Let's get it to one of our leading stories now. The Public Works Minister, Dean Macpherson, officially laying criminal charges against suspended Independent Development Trust CEO Tebogo Malaka and the entity's spokesperson, Phasha Makgolane. The pair were caught on camera allegedly attempting to bribe Daily Maverick journalist Pieter-Louis Myburgh. Now, they are said to have offered him 60,000 rand for him to stop investigations. Let's speak now to the Institute of Directors in South Africa. Dr. Simo Lushaba is with us in studio. Dr. Lushaba, good evening to you. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, Chloe.
An easy question to get into this conversation about is, what is the role of a board in any organization?
Yeah.
Can we start there?
Yeah. Look, overall, the board exercises oversight over the organization. That brings with it a number of key elements centered around the board being the primary custodian and focal point for corporate governance. And in doing so, the board determines the strategy for the organization, in other words, the direction that the organization is going to take towards the fulfillment of its purpose. It will also approve policies of the organization so that as it moves towards the fulfillment of its purpose, it does so within a controlled range of areas that are guided by policy. It then implements a system of accountability in the organization to ensure that there is effective accountability, and then it monitors what gets done to see that there's compliance, to see that we are actually doing what we are expected to do towards the fulfillment of the strategy, and if anything goes wrong, to take steps to remedy that.
You talk about accountability. I want to use a simpler language.
Yes.
And say policing corruption in any organization. And I wonder what your thoughts are on that. Balancing fiduciary duties with ethics in order to do exactly what I've just said to you.
Yeah.
Police corruption. Do you find that is a difficulty sometimes for directors?
It shouldn't be, but I think sometimes there is omission of engaging with what this exactly is.
Yeah.
So fiduciary duties are duties of faith and trust. It's looking after the organization faithfully and trustfully. And therefore, when you look at that, it's about the outcome of being ethical. Because being ethical means doing things that cause others to trust you. And you do those things faithfully.
Yeah.
Now, therefore, it feeds into each other. It's not something that actually is divorced from each other. However, one of the things that I've recognized is that directors tend to think everything is about the law and it ends with the law. The law is very important, but the law is a catch net below which you should go to prison. So if you don't comply with the law. But the reality is, the fact that you are walking freely out there in the street does not equate to trust. There are things you need to do in terms of your behavior, in terms of your conduct, in terms of your utterances, that then cause others to trust you.
Yeah.
So there is more to trust than legal compliance. Legal compliance is what enables you to be out of prison and for people to look at you with the aim of trusting you. But it is earned through what you do and how you do it and what you say.
I like what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm going to phrase it in a question.
Yes.
Is there difficulty in instilling a culture of honesty in organizations? Because why then are we finding so many organizations in trouble?
Because we take shortcuts. Only we take shortcuts and we've normalized it, in my view. For instance, we talk of accountability as policing for corruption. It doesn't start there, though. You are an enabler if you start it there, because it actually is a culmination that leads us to corruption of things that are overlooked right from inception. Let me make a simple example. When you appoint board members in this country, we do not require of you any report that says the reason I appointed Simo to this position is because he's the best I could find in this and that, and he has this experience, and therefore this is what he is going to give us.
Yeah.
Because that's the basis for accountability, right? We want to bring in accountability when things have gone wrong. Then you'll hear us saying we must have accountability. Accountability just doesn't arise out of nowhere like a mushroom. It needs a base. It needs us to have it right from inception. So we need to go back to basic and create. And one of the things that is not there is disclosures. We're not disclosing enough of the decisions we make. In this country, we've actually accepted that when someone is a leader, they can take decisions, we must toe the line and follow those decisions, and we dare not ask, why was this decision taken?
On that very point, I want us to end the conversation with this question, whether you believe that too much trust is given to the CEO of the organization and the board only catches up if something goes wrong. Marcus Juste is a fine example of that. You now have this instance of Ms. Malaka. Is there too much trust that's given to CEOs as if these are people that will do no wrong?
Well, it's a combination of two things. Yes, there's a lot of trust, but there's a lot of turning a blind eye as well. Because when you look at all of these, they would not be the first instances. In the case of Marcus, for instance, a lot of people have said, when you try to ask what was not reconciling, you were ridiculed. And the board did not actually take that into consideration, and therefore they would hide behind trust instead of checking. If you come to an organization and say, there's corruption going on, in fact, actually one of the sad things in this country is that there's a lot of people who are victims of people in power who are corrupt. That actually make lives difficult for them, drive them out of the system, because it's very expensive to actually stand up against a system as an individual. But there is no system to protect those people. We then turn a blind eye to those. But those are the early indicators of there's something not right here. Now, the people who control the resources, which is the boards, dare not do anything with that. We then wait until what we've experienced recently, for instance, in the case of Malaka, or what we experienced in the case of Marcus Juste, or many other CEOs. But quite often, there's a lot of water that's flown under the bridge then.
Dr. Simo Lushaba, I wish we had more time. Thank you very much for coming in, and I wish to invite you another time, because I think these are ongoing conversations. There's too much difficulty in these companies, and lots still needs to be unpacked. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed.